Hi, and welcome to Green Blue. This little video today is going to explain a little bit about our Ozypod. The Ozypod is a self-contained batch composting system. Now there's two expressions in this. Number one is self-contained, which means that the composting bin is actually inside the container, and you do not need any underfloor space. So therefore this can go straight down on concrete or your garden shed, what have you. And batch composting means that you will get two composting containers with the system. When one is full, you put the lid on, you take it out, you let it sit in the garden to fully break down. You put the second bin in. Of course, the advantage of batch composting is that with the purchase of extra bins, you can increase the capacity, the composting capacity of the system. At the moment, the Ozypod is a 1 to 2 person system with the 2 containers included. With an extra container, that becomes a 2 to 3 person system. With an extra container, it becomes a 3 to 4 person system, and so on. A couple of interesting things that are worth noting is number one, it is 100% Australian manufactured, so totally made here in Australia. We make it here, we manufacture it here. And number two, it is the only self-contained batch composting system that is approved to Australia and New Zealand standards and is approved in all states and territories in Australia and in New Zealand. So let's have a look at the system, what it does, how it works, etc. So, first of all, one feature is it's got what's called a chamber screen or privacy screen. So as you open the toilet lid, you don't see inside, and it's only when you want to use it, you can open it via this twist knob. When you're finished, you close it back up again. Like all composting toilets, after each number 2, not after number 1, you put a handful of carbon-rich composting material over the top, covering material over the top. That makes sure that you have the right carbon-nitrogen balance. The other thing, of course, that's important in composting is the moisture balance. So what the system has in here, let's just open it up and see what's inside, is this composting container is lined with a little bit of jute webbing, which protects these drainage holes from clogging. You will a little later see where they drain into. So also to note are the handles here, or the straps. They have a couple of little keepers at the back and at the front to keep your straps out of the way so they don't get soiled, of course. So when it comes to exchanging the container, the first thing would be to put the lid on. Now you can either lift the container out and put the lid on outside the container, which is probably a little simpler. However, it is designed so you can do it while the container is still in there. So what I would do before you exchange containers is to probably just, while the top is still on, cover it a little bit with your covering material so it's not offensive in any way. So when you put this lid on, you're just going to make sure that you're staying out of the way of the straps and that your 2 little hooks over here and here stay up, and the same thing on the other side. Lift your straps out, make sure that your hooks left and right are out. And so now it comes to putting your bungee loops on. It keeps the lid totally secured on there. Now another neat feature of this system is the drip tray that we have. So as you exchange containers, obviously you have to carry the container through your house, and with other systems there's always the possibility of dripping. With this one here, we've got the drip tray. So you lift the container out straight onto your drip tray here, and then you fasten the drip tray with another couple of bungee loops. That means that now the tray goes with it as you carry it out, eliminating all spillage. It's got two solid carrier handles here, or straps here, which means you can either do that carrying out yourself, or if you wish, with two people, one at the front, one at the back, if you don't want to lift so heavy. So we'll put this aside, and we will put the new bin in. So this is your bin, with the straps again. Oh, and before I do that, let's just have a quick look inside. The systems are here, your little hooks that hook the straps up, and this is your drainage pan. This drainage pan is slightly angled, so all the liquids go out through the exit here and out into an excess liquids drain that ends in a thicker trench or similar. Up here we have the vent outlet. So outside of the system you have a fan that goes up a vent stack, which basically means that the system is totally odor free. It draws air through there 24/7, which means that even as you create the smells, it draws them out. So in real terms, it's actually a less smelly affair than a flush loo, where, as you well know, some of the smells always stay in the toilet. Anyway, so we'll put this spare container in now. Okay, make sure that your loops are up on the side, and then we hook the straps in the little receivers there at the back, which means that they're out of the way of the waste going in, and then we put the jute webbing inside, which again stops the holes from blocking up. Now you can purchase the jute webbing from us pre-cut, or if you want to not go through the expense or save postage or what have you, you can get a couple of these from your local hardware shop. They're jute plant pot liners, and you just have to put one at the back and one at the front to cover all the holes. So we've got the new container in now, so what I will do is I will put a little bit of covering material on, like here, and you put about 2.5 to 5 centimeters of this material in the bottom, which gives you a good base to start composting with. And speaking of compost, this is what the finished product looks like. So after your bin has matured for 3 months or more, it basically becomes a soil-like substance that's odorless, or it smells a little bit like a moist forest soil basically. So this is great for your garden. It's good, it's fertile. So in exchange containers, now we put the top back on, and you're right ready to use it again and start afresh. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.